Welcome back to Stadia Source, your number one source for Stadia news and reviews. My name is Avery, and this is the Stadia Source Roundtable Podcast. And boy, have we got a big show for y'all tonight. So let's get started. With us, as always, from the Roundtable regulars, we've got Scarlet Stream.
All right, you guys ready for this? Hello, you convocation of eagles, and you sleuth of bears. Eagles and bears. There we go.
Convocation combo.
Yeah.
We've got Blue Bob, the gaming CPA.
Hey, everyone.
We've got Dom.
Evening.
And we've got our favorite cowboy, and now your mama knows.
I'm a cowboy.
Oh, yeah, right?
Oh, man.
And you know what? Somebody call the Mounties, because we've been invaded. We've got 4 of your favorite streamers from the frozen north joining us on the panel today. It's Meg, Color, Spaceman, and Eddie.
Hey,
everybody.
Just a little bit. We'll find out what you're all about in just a little bit. It's gonna be bad, you guys. It's gonna be bad all show long. I'm gonna try not to, but you know I'm gonna.
It's gonna be so.
Y'all
good.
can make fun of me saying y'all as much as you want. It's not. Before we get started, did you know you can get the Roundtable as an actual podcast? Search for Stadia Source wherever you get Pocket Casts, such as Spotify Pocket Casts, Apple Podcasts, and all those good kind of places. Also, if you're watching us live, we want you to be a part of the conversation. Say hi in the chat, and if you really want to be sure we bring up your message during the show, hit that super chat button or drop one of those super stickers, and we'll make sure that we say hi to you. And last but not least, you can join Stadia Source right here on YouTube. Members get amazing perks from exclusive community play live streams to early access to videos to Stadia Source merch. So click that join button down below. Click the join button down below to find out below how to become a member. Live podcasting, everybody. So sorry. Folks, so glad to have I'm telling you, it's gonna be bad. We're so glad to have all of our northern friends on the show tonight. For once, the North American folks outnumber the UK folks. So And actually now the Canadians outnumber everybody. So it's wonderful. We're going to take a moment just to get to know each and every one of you. Color, I'm going to start with you since you were literally just on the show last week. Repeat guest, two-timer, right in a row. We love you so much. Tell everybody a little bit about you and your Stadia history for those that didn't tune in last week.
So thank you again for having me on the podcast again. I am Color, and I just I do a lot of Stadia content creation for Red Dead Online. I used to be a PC gamer. I did not have a lot of faith in Stadia at first, but then I tried it, and I got the Founders Edition, and I have ever since loved the platform. So much so that I have over 2,000 hours on Red Dead Online, and decided to make some content around it. So I really wanted to build a community around Red Dead Online Stadia. So that's basically what my content is about.
Fantastic. I have like 80 hours on Elder Scrolls, and I thought that was a lot. So I'm learning that I don't game enough, apparently. Eddie, we're so glad you took off just this 90 minutes from playing Outcasters, even though you probably are playing it right now, just under the camera.
No, not at all. Not at all. Let me take this. I'm turning off the controller right now because whatever. So yeah, how are everybody doing? My name is Eddie from the channel Eddie Player One. I have been around for about a year, and variety streamer, not so dedicated as my friend Color, but for the next 6 days, you can call me Eddie Outcaster One.
Eddie Outcaster One.
Of course. Well, good to have you on the show again as well. Meg Atron X, tell us a little bit about you.
So I run a YouTube channel called Meg Atron X, and I do Stadia live streams and first look and review videos.
Fantastic. And who am I missing? Oh, Dr. Spaceman over in the corner. Sorry, Dr. Spaceman. Tell us about you.
It's okay. Well, I'm Sebastian, aka Dr. Spaceman. I started content creation this summer in August, actually, and yeah, just really liked Stadia the moment it came out. The first time I heard about it, and I've been loving the experience ever since. So, and I've played in the last week. I think I've done a stream, not a single stream that I've replayed the same game. Like played some Far Cry 5, played some Red Dead Online, and a bunch of games. So I like to explore all games, but. Yep.
Well, fantastic. And I've been told we have a furry friend joining us somewhere in one of the 9 boxes. Can you tell which one? Guess and win a prize in the chat. I don't know. And the prize that you might win in the chat is the brand new Scarlet emoji, which I apparently forgot to add, even though I promised everybody last week. So I don't know if you're going to have to refresh to see it, but there is a new Scarlet Stream emoji in the chat for the members. If you are a member, you get to use it. A member like April, who gave us a wonderful super sticker, and we're thankful for you to do that. Unfortunately, I can't pull it up because you guys, I did it. I did it. I jumped ship to the.
You're a
What?
I know, and so I don't have like my YouTube notifications on. This was literally 12 hours ago that I did this, or no, 12. That's no, like less than 24 hours ago.
But
that I did this.
why?
So, because it's just nice. Oh, and that's sound, and I don't want sound. Yeah, again, I'm not prepared for today. It's been a long. I've been up since 6 a.m. All right, you know what, folks? Let's get into it as we always do with a little bit of discussion of what we have been playing this week. Let's start with our guests, and I'm going to start with a fairly obvious one this week. Hey, Eddie, what's been on your playlist in the past 5 hours, and then also before that, Stadia or otherwise?
So to be honest, before that, it has been quite of a slow week for me in gaming. I had maybe 2-3 hours on Miles Morales, and that has been all. I didn't have the time to play anything else, and I played today another 2 hours of Outcasters, and I'm gonna be playing tonight, and I'm gonna be playing tomorrow, and then tomorrow. Well, yeah, no, it's almost like, oh my god, my channel is gonna be Outcaster focused. maybe.
Hey, it works for color. I mean, have a theme and roll with it. Color, what's been on your play? I'm going in a weird order. I'm just going to zigzag around the square. You never know who I'm going to next. Color, what have you been playing this week? As if we had to guess. Getting the easy folks out of the way.
Well, normally I would say, actually, it's still definitely a lot of Red Dead Online. Still a lot of Red Dead Redemption 2. Just putting in and keeping my hours up. Hopefully, I could reach 2,500 hours soon. But actually, I've been playing a little bit of Jedi Fallen Order when I picked that up, and I'm very impressed that it actually runs at 4K 60. And then also a bit of Assassin's Creed Valhalla on the PC. It's a really, really good one. I'm a big fan of the Assassin's Creed series. So,
Color, how happy are you with the dailies on Red Dead?
So, Color, give us the 30-second explanation of what just happened to your world.
So, just recently there was an update on Red Dead Online, which ruined my daily streak. I've been logging into the game for 271 days. That doesn't exist anymore because they completely reset everyone's streaks. We get significantly less gold, and they're kind of pushing everyone to buy the gold and monetizing it that way.
What?
So
they want money?
So we didn't like the direction they went with, but they did add more content to Red Dead Online, and that we're appreciative of, but also everyone's very, very angry.
It's, they make choices for money choices. Money choices. Money Meg! Tell us what's been on your playlist this week, Stadia or otherwise.
So Elder Scrolls Online is my current addiction. And I play that nonstop, but I have also been playing some Red Dead and fitting Red Dead in because they did come out with new content. So I kind of was like, let me go see. And it is too bad they nerfed the gold earning in that game because it was a big part of it, but they are making it a lot more accessible for new people to join for cheap. So they do need to make that extra money elsewhere. So I do hope that there are some benefits, even though it is a drawback. But
Rockstar, that notoriously low profit company. Dom, what have you been playing this week? What's on your playlist?
Since Outcasters came on, I've been playing that pretty much nonstop. I was lucky enough to join Infinite Jester and Stefan from the Stadia social team.
Played with the mothership.
Yeah, they were super helpful and they were really friendly and stuff. And we did party chat and that was all cool. Other than that, I've been pretty work busy this week, but I've been fitting in Risk of Rain where I can. Trying to complete that on Monsoon difficulty, which is the highest difficulty, and it's pretty tough and really frustrating because you're like, oh yeah, I'm doing really well, and then all of a sudden you're dead, and it's like, oh, that's an hour and a half progress just down the toilet.
Oof. Very fun. Blue Bobs, the gaming CPA, what have you invested your time in this particular week?
Jesus.
I heard that. Who was that? I'm going to walk back through.
It's going to sound like a lot because I played quite a few games, but it wasn't necessarily a lot of time spent. Maybe it was. So I ended up doing the Outcasters tutorial. Okay, I spent 10 minutes and did the tutorial before the podcast started because I haven't had a chance today. I'm excited. I'm going to be playing that game a good amount just because it's just a fun. And I'm going to try it on mouse and keyboard. I'm going to see. I think that's going to be a little different than controller. And I did the tutorial on mouse and keyboard. But yeah, that was really fun. I beat SteamWorld Hand of Gilgamesh. I beat Lost Words Beyond the Page finally. I'm trying to go through that backlog and just get games done. Almost cried, very close to crying in Lost Words Beyond the Page. That is a very emotional game. If you played it, you know. If you haven't played it, have tissues nearby in case. And then I even tried out Crata. They had a new not like a money update, but a tycoon game update. So I tried that a little bit. And then obviously I played Everspace. I streamed it the other day, which I feel like that game I could possibly also get into once I get a little more familiar with the controls and the handling, because apparently flying spaceships is a little bit different than driving a car. So,
what did you play with, controller or mouse and keyboard?
Oh, with Everspace?
Yeah,
mouse and keyboard.
Because I've heard that it's easier with mouse and keyboard. Because it's not like a traditional. I played with controller a little bit, and I found it really not how I'd expect it to handle. Like from all the like flying and whatever I've played in other games with controllers, it didn't handle like that at all.
The
It's sort of,
developers actually said that it's preferred to play with a mouse and keyboard.
Yeah.
That's how the
I
game
think-
was designed at first. It's a PC game, and it does handle well with mouse and keyboard.
it's basically Risk of Rain, but in spaceship form, right?
Mhm.
Like it's much more a shooter than like a
Risk
A
of
spaceship.
Matter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, very fun. I gave it like a minute of try as well, and I was just like, no, and then my brain hurt. Who have I missed? Anthony, what have you been playing? What's on your playlist this week? This is the problem if I go out of order. Now I can't remember what I've done. I'm gonna have to watch
All right,
my own
check it out,
podcast
guys.
to find out.
I've been playing all the. So you guys have been saying, "Oh, I've been playing these single player games." I've been battling the world. I played Mortal Kombat for like 2 hours the other day, playing against the community. I played some Power Rangers. I was playing some Pac-Man. I was playing Avengers. Guys, I played all the new games that just came out. They're okay. But yeah, I've been playing a lot of versus games, guys. I've been challenging the world, so I got all this energy in me, and I know some people are watching like that guy. He keeps saying I'm a cowboy when he wins, but guys, it's been fun. I've been representing Stadia, okay? Stadia Source, all right? The Stadia Source Force. But yeah, I've been playing a lot of versus game. Anything that you could challenge and battle people in, I've been playing it like crazy. It's been a lot of fun. All right, I'm done.
Fun. And big thank you to Dry Kakens, our good friend from the again trying to rebalance the European versus the North American for the three euro super chat. Good evening, everybody. A bit of support, and we absolutely appreciate that as well.
Oh, can I
And
say
Mr.
one last
Urban
thing?
World? Well, I want to say thank you, Mr. Urban World, for wishing us a happy holidays, you beautiful Stadia beings. We appreciate
Okay.
that as well. And then Anthony, yes, please.
Oh, one last thing, guys. Typically, you could find me right after the show doing the Power Up Plus, but tonight we got something special because Carly, aka Scarlet, is going to be playing Immortal Phoenix Rising. So you guys got to make sure you check that out.
You got that, Anthony. You're wrong. She's going to be playing Gods and Monsters.
Sorry, yeah. I didn't want anybody to tune in and be like, "Where's the cowboy at?" Like, you listen, guys. This is going to be awesome. Make sure you tune in. This is going to be awesome. Her love for this game just got me excited to watch. So I can't wait.
Like way up here.
So Scarlett, what? I'll ask you what you have been playing, but we know that's not as important as what you will be playing.
So I've been finishing up Miles Morales with my husband. That was fantastic. I just finished up Astro's Playroom. So those are all the PS5 things I've been branching into my PS5 stuff now that I'm able. I just kind of cake bash every once in a while on my phone because it's fun and it's adorable and I love this game so much. Yeah, I mean, it's been really busy this week. I've had a lot of meetings for various things, so it's been hard. But that's kind of the fun thing about Stadia is when I did have a chance, I was able to play something, so that makes it worth it.
Yeah,
But yes, tonight is going to be Gods and Monsters. It'll be my first look, so y'all will be starting fresh with me on it. I haven't touched it. It's going to be amazing.
She has waited all day. You guys, she cares
And
about
then
us
let's
that
not
much.
forget
She's waited.
Spaceman.
No.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
I've been
sorry,
waiting all day.
Spaceman. Sorry. Speaking of waiting, hey, by the way, Mr. Urban World saying that he's been beating Anthony in numerous games. Am I missing somebody? We'll figure it out. So hey, thank you for the $2 super chat to call out your beating of Anthony in numerous games.
That's a lie.
Oh, sorry, Spaceman. I totally missed you. I spaced out there for a second. What have you been playing this week, guys? All night. I'm going to edit these out. I'm not going to edit these out. All right.
I've been checking a bunch of games out this week. Like I was saying, I've streamed pretty much a different game every day this week because I want to try a bunch of stuff before a certain game that's coming out in exactly 1 week, 1 hour, and 40 minutes is kind of going to come out and use all of my time. So,
Wow.
If you've been watching Eddie's stream with the countdown on the top?
Yeah.
I just looked at the clock and it's engraved in there. So yeah, like last week I've been playing Mortal Kombat with And Your Mama Knows and progressing to other games. I've tried Everspace, which I really love, mouse and keyboard. I find like it's, as a roguelike, it's really ingenious as how they made a game. It's a lot of enjoyment. So Andy really did a good job porting it to Stadia. So Red Dead Online yesterday. So a bunch of games. visiting the whole Stadia verse.
Good stuff. Fantastic. And again, hey, Mr. Urban World with the $10 super chat saying Scarlet is the best gamer. I would agree. That's very heartwarming. Guys, this is the most heartwarming episode of our podcast ever. It's going to be, it's lovely. And Gem Stadia.
We need Canadians
what's up,
on
Gem?
here more often.
We do. Clearly, the Canadians are. It's because they feel sorry for the rest of us. Sorry. And then there's Gem saying, "Split this between you guys." Gem, I appreciate it. I don't know. I don't know what the conversion rate works out to between loonies and toonies and all that.
Gotta put it in
stuff,
metric system.
Sorry, freedom units only. All right, so guys, it has been a news heavy day today. The news roundup for today, we just got to get straight into it. The Stadia Hangout event was early. I don't really even know what you want to call it, like live Hangout, Stadia Hangout, whatever. But just, I'm going to say it,
Stadia.
and I think we're all. Yeah, I think I'm going to say it. That's what we should have had from them this whole time. Like, that was exactly what we've been waiting for. Just an hour-long, fun, play games, get somebody in there to really hype it up, live experience where people could actually chat and participate. And that's what Stadia is made for in that. And Mr. Urban World, again, just once again on the podcast, Meg is a professional Tomb Raider player. Can't forget about her. I definitely agree with that. And Gem Stadia with the $10. No, I don't even know. Is that pounds? Oh, that is pounds. Okay, I was like, I don't even know what currency you're picking now, which is very weird. So we appreciate that. You guys are just like making our Christmas wish list here. We are gonna give some of that back to you. I'll tell you a little bit more about that in just a little bit. So guys, thoughts on this? Obviously, lots of news coming out from there. 4 different games announced and a partnership as well. So Outcasters, Submerged, Valkyria Chronicles 4, Journey to the Savage Planet, which is about dang time, and then the Thunderful partnership. Meg, give us your first reactions on today's craziness.
I thought it was amazing. I thought it was so fun, and the whole community seemed to get involved, and everybody in chat seemed like all the messages seemed like so hype and supportive, and everybody was like, "This is great. This is so much fun." And then everyone was streaming it, and it was just so exciting, and everyone was reacting to it, and it was great. I loved it. And the new games look so fun. I haven't had a chance yet, but I will soon play all of them all at once, and I can't wait.
That's going to be very complicated if you're like, I guess, how many controllers do you have though? Because it could work. I mean, you have
not
controllers
enough
to use.
Not enough.
So, and he's like, I only ordered 15 more. So, Dom, I know you and Blue Bobs and Scarlet. I thank you all, the 3 of you, for rocking out the live stream today, and showing that. What was Dom? What was the moment that really snagged you, other than completely incompetent Dead by Daylight play?
God, that was painful. Do you know what? I don't think there's a specific moment. I just think Austin did a really great job hosting. Right, he was the perfect hype man. He genuinely, I said this on the stream at the time, he genuinely seemed like he was excited and that he's a gamer at heart. Whereas I feel like with the last event, with the good stuff with Lamar, and I can't remember the other guy's name, it was kind of like, hey, I'm reading off a script. This is really obviously I'm faking enthusiasm. Whereas Austin genuinely felt like he was like, oh, this is really cool, guys, let's play. And because it was live, it just had his like emotions. They were playing, stuff was happening. Like when they did the Bomberman stream and they were out and they were just watching. It was cool watching the last 5 people battle out. It was just a great advertisement for Stadia. And I think Jem said this on Twitter. This is what they should have done from the start. This should replace the Kinect. It was hypey. It was great. Loved it.
Absolutely. Quick hi to Says, who just joined. I think that's also April Legion. She said in the chat. So April, we love you one way or the other. Whatever account you want to join us on, we love you for that. And then Drennan says Meg is their favorite Canadian. Fight for their affection. I don't know what fighting for affection we're going to be doing, but Eddie is apparently is their favorite Brazilian. So
he said, "A fight for my affection, Canadians," and said, "No, I don't want to get into fights."
You don't do that. You don't do that. Speaking of fights, Eddie, you've gotten a chance to play a little bit of Outcasters. Is it the game you've been waiting for?
Yes, to be honest, I was on the first match of Outcasters on that live stream. It was me. It was Generation Stadia. And we had the back and forth during the game, and then I ran away, and then he got my back, and then he killed me.
Were you just sitting there like hovering over the crowd play button, ready for it? Just like, I'm gonna do it.
To be honest, when I clicked the button, there were 2 people, so I was number 2 on the queue, and then somebody said, "All right, there's now 179 people."
Just a second later, they were holding it for you. They were waiting for you to get in there. The splash damage team clearly was waiting for you. So you're enjoying the game so far.
So I played a few matches after that. I found the game mechanics extremely hard, challenging, but cool. So it's not an easy let's shoot and winning fast. So I really think this game has a huge potential to become a next hit, especially when we have that. There's a schedule already for a lot of streamers to play that. If you want those streamers, if one of those catches up and okay, I really like this game. I feel that has potential to catch on. But the event itself, as you were saying, I feel like it was a great presentation. What else platform can you shadow drop a game and say, you know what, click in this link and start to play right now. You don't need to download anything. We're just releasing this brand new game, so click and play. You don't have to do any pre-installs, not anything, not updates on day 0. You just click and play.
Well, as you said, they launched crowd play. 300, 400 people were in the queue within 30 seconds. Like no other platform can do that.
Exactly.
It absolutely stood out. Scarlett, I know a lot of games. You've also kind of been interested in Outcasters, other games in this. Anything in the presentation that really stood out for you?
So I think I'm there with everybody that this was 100% what I wanted, like the good stuff to be. I even said like show us some gameplay, show off some features, just kind of interact with the audience, and this was exactly what I wanted. People were able to actually directly live interact with what was going on, and it was so cool. Like you couldn't even read a single sentence in the chat before it was gone. Like people were blowing it up. They had, which may not sound like a lot, but this was quite a bit. Like we had like 3,000 people viewing at every given moment. And that means people coming in and out, and the chat was just going nuts. And it was really fun to see people getting excited about this. I enjoyed the Outcasters bit because I hadn't really seen, a whole lot more than anybody else had. So it was really cool to see that. I liked that just out of nowhere. They're like, here's Outcasters. By the way, it's free for pro members. Oh, and here's also this other game, which by the way is free for pro members. I'm like, being a pro member has paid off like so much. And I'm happy. I'm a very happy camper today. Very happy.
Good, definitely good to hear. Anthony, what was the big standout moment for you today? I know you're a wrestling fan, right? So were you excited to see Austin in the mix there?
So I refer to him as Xavier Woods, his wrestling name. And what got me was a couple days ago, I seen a thing. Somebody sent me an advertisement that said Xavier Woods and Stadia. I was like, because my thing is that in the wrestling community, people know Xavier Woods is a diehard gamer. So like people would take, and WWE is huge, right? So my thing is I want Stadia to get the most amount of eyes they can on them. So when I seen that, I said, man, this is going to be big because you're going to have people who might not be into Stadia, but going to check it out because of Xavier Woods. And that to me stood out, and he did a great job. And he has a YouTube channel that's massive called Up, Up, Down, Down. And it was just cool for me, the hype of somebody big that relates to my demographic, wrestling fans, to mix Stadia. Like even some of my non-Stadia friends, I sent them the thing like Xavier Woods is talking about Stadia. Like that was cool. So that alone was like, I'm excited. But I was getting into the hype of Outcasters. I even said it earlier. I said, man, if Outcasters are on there, that's gonna be cool. I'm kind of getting into the hype. And then when they just
you owe somebody a pizza now because Outcasters was there? I can't keep track of who all you owe pizza to.
So I did not make a bet again. Yes, Avery, I will give you a pizza. But yes, I owe him a pizza. We made a bet. And but yeah, Outcasters, I've been joining the hype of Outcasters. People have been hyping it up. And when it dropped, I was like, this is cool because I kind of got into the hype. I only got to play the tutorial. But I'll play it later. But it was fun. I think what Eddie said makes a good point. And I said this too before I played. I said, I hope it's not really easy that you're just gonna have people so good, and the fact that you got to shoot and turn, it's gonna make you really skillful, but at the same time you're gonna get kills by mistake, so it's gonna be funny. It's gonna be that fun game, like, oh, I killed somebody I didn't even mean to. And but yeah, the event for me, the fact that Xavier Woods was on it, like for instance, him and then I don't know if you guys know who they are, but the New Day as wrestlers, they just got put as extra characters in Gears of War like a week ago. So this is cool that video game community is like, oh wow, he just got put in Gears of War and now he's doing a thing with Stadia. Oh wow. Like some people might be like, isn't that the guy that just got put in Gears of War? That's a Microsoft thing, but he's doing a Stadia event. So it's almost making it like, yes, he's doing this, but Stadia is still here. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the eyes on Stadia because of his presence. For me, it was cool.
His also just quickly, his YouTube channel is massive. Like he has 2.23 million subscribers.
Yeah, massive.
That's more than Lamar Wilson. Like he's a big streamer.
Yeah.
And the Katie that they had on today was also she's in the 6-digit range as well. Spaceman, what stood out to you in today's event?
I'm gonna have to be honest that the moment Outcasters came out, my attention span went out the window. So I'm gonna have to rewatch it again. But I did check the event from beginning to end still. But the games they've done, everything, it's just perfect. Like Valkyria Chronicles coming to Stadia, it's a good indication. Like I know they want to try to reach out to Japan, and they need more JRPGs to do that. They've talked about Journey to the Savage Planet. That they said it's coming to Pro soon.
Yeah, no, they said next year, and it's the Employee of the Month edition.
Yeah,
exclusive.
Did they say next year? I didn't catch that part.
Yeah,
I was busy.
Yeah, early. He said it after the trailer.
Yeah, next year.
Okay, but yeah, there's just so many elements they just got right with this event. I feel like they hit the nail on the head. They got the right direction now, so they just need to keep it going that way. So it was just perfect.
Lots of colorful games in that event. Journey to the Savage Planet we've been waiting on. Submerged looks really, really pretty. What was your big moment from today?
Just Outcasters is something that I've been excited about for a long time, and I actually didn't I didn't catch like all of the stream today and missed a lot of the announcements, but I did hear like everything from like people telling me that Outcasters is finally out, and the best part about that was that it was a Stadia Pro game, and like anybody with a Stadia account that hasn't tried a free trial, and anybody with Stadia Pro could just claim the game and play right away. So that's something that I was like, wow, that's insane, because it has been hyped up for so long, and the fact that they made it free for Stadia Pro members gives everyone access and gives everyone a chance to really enjoy the game. So that's something that really stood out to me. I still need to check out all the other games and all the other announcements when it came to that.
You gotta wonder how many people watched the Outcasters bit and then were like, now? Okay, never mind, and then just move right on.
Yeah, I tuned out.
Into Eddie's stream. I tuned into Eddie's stream for a minute. Sorry, Dom and Blue Bobs and Scarlet. And I was like, oh, and then Eddie he was gone. No more news. Don't care what else is happening. It's Outcasters time.
I know that there was an interview with the developer, from
Phoenix.
From Phoenix Rising. I didn't heard anything about that interview. I had it playing on the background. Yeah, whatever. I'll check later because I'm very interested on the game, but I didn't heard a single thing about that interview.
Yeah, we all knew what this was for Eddie.
I just want to one more thing. It's also like only like $20 to get Outcasters for those who don't have Pro. And so I saw some people in the chat, like yeah, exactly. The few people that I could manage to read their messages in YouTube, they're like, oh man, and I still have like my $10 coupon. And so they're like, it's like $10. I'm getting this game like right now. And so then they got the game and then they hopped into the queue.
Bada boom. We're going to talk a little bit more about first and second party games as our hot topic later on tonight. But definitely for me, I think of course I'm super excited about Outcasters. We'll definitely be playing that on the community playground on Sunday. Eddie, I might have to steal you for an hour for that. But we definitely playing that one, and I'm looking forward to all of these. Journey to the Savage Planet was one that I was really surprised it took them this long, because they've owned that studio for a year. And clearly, like, they're doing this Employee of the Month edition, so they're rolling in all the DLC, and there's some other Stadia exclusive features. So I've got to wonder if there's going to be anything, if they've been implementing crowd choice or crowd play or any Stadia specific features. Has anybody played that game on any other platform, and is it multiplayer?
Haven't played but it's multiplayer.
For the duration of time it took for them to bring it over to Stadia, though, I think it's because before Google bought the studio, I think there was some exclusivity deal for certain consoles by the publisher. So because they were working with another publisher, and when Google bought the studio, they still had to complete their contracts they had. So I think
they had to wait.
It took so long.
They clearly released this just to distract from certain people at Stadia who used to work for them tweeting. So,
so I have a question. Do you feel like the calling employee of the month in knowing that somebody came from the studio?
That's what I thought when I saw the title.
That could very well be it, and that would be hilarious, and I would give them plenty of props for that. I would give them plenty of kudos for doing that. They also announced a partnership, adding to the roster of Supermassive Games and Splash Damage and all of those. They've added Thunderful Games, which is the team behind SteamWorld. And a bunch of other, they have a huge number of games out there, but smaller kind of indie titles, and just a lot of stuff in that one as well. Blue Bobs, we've been talking for months about, we got to have the partnerships, got to have exclusives, have more games. What did you make of the big announcements today?
I mean, I was glad to see another group added to the list. We just love to see the relationships with Stadia continue to grow, just showing again that Stadia is just kind of ingraining itself into the gaming, I guess, platform hemisphere. If developers are taking them seriously, then customers and gamers should be taking Stadia seriously. So seeing that list continue to grow is awesome. I think, Dr. Spaceman, what he said about the whole Journey to Savage Planet taking so long, I actually had chosen not to purchase it on another platform when I found out Stadia bought the developers, and I agree. I think that they probably had some sort of contract, and they said they're coming in 2021, and I'm anticipating it's probably going to be around January, February, because I think that's when they were launched on the console.
The exact same date.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking it's going to drop, which would be great. As far as the event overall, I know one thing we kept saying was like the length of the event was incredible, like an hour and a half or like an hour and 15 minutes. Like it was awesome because it allowed for everything. Like Scarlett said, allowed for show me games, show me features, interact, like play with people. Like it was all in all a great event. And it's funny because Anthony, I don't watch WWE whatsoever. So when you mentioned that he's a Gears of War 5 character now, it made me think, because I think after Lamar Wilson's when he did the Stadia, his like very next video was him unboxing the Xbox Series X he got sent. So I wonder if in response Stadia picked up someone. I doubt. There's probably like a 0.005% chance this actually happened, but Stadia picked up someone from Xbox who just did a huge promotion for a game that launched on their platform. But also, like, I just think that between him and Katie Wilson, they blew it out of the park. Their interactions, and to us, it just felt like their hype was real, and it just felt like they are gamers, and they game really. I literally hopped on. Katie Wilson was live streaming. She was live streaming Fortnite, but I still hopped on, and like the first thing she did when she came up was just talking to her chat, like, "Hey everyone," and like literally listed off everyone's name in chat. Super interactive, and I'm like, I hope because I think she is one of the ones listed for a future stream, but I hope she continues, like Stadia either entices this kind of an individual to the platform as more of like a permanent streamer, or at least just she continues to stream Stadia games whenever she can, because she's a very fun streamer. I'm looking forward to maybe catching catching our other friend Up Down Down. Check out his channel and see some live stream.
It was. I have to say, it was too funny to watch him like doing this, like wearing a pair of $10 dollar store earbuds the whole time. The little blue. Maybe they were like super beats or something, but just kind of watching. I was like, that's he's just a dude.
Look at Matt.
These are $10. Okay,
if it works, it works, right?
Here's what's even cool about him. He is currently one half of the WWE Raw Tag Team Champions right now. Like he's literally.
Oh my God! Really? I'm sure that means so much. I watched when it was WWF. That's when I got into and out of wrestling back in the day.
But the slogan when they changed was "Get the F out." But that literally was the thing when they changed it.
Well, let's get the F out of this topic and talk about. You guys like that? See, wonderful.
I like it.
Sorry,
Take it on your
feet. Set around.
The other thing that we know now is that they've also partnered with a whole host of streamers to do an entire week of Google Stadia streams. And I did the math. I actually was curious about this, and I did the math. Combined total across those 16 or however many people, 76 million subscribers. Wow. So Stadia has it's begun. It's on now. Like clearly they're ready to take this to the public, get it in front of plenty of people on all kinds of different channels, and really, really ramp this up, which I think is about time. Everybody on this panel right now is a content creator and a streamer, and we're doing everything we can to really grow and promote Stadia. And this just means that there are going to be that many more people who are on YouTube tomorrow searching the word Stadia, and who will hopefully find us as we put our hashtags in and all that good stuff. Eddie, well, what's looking at the list? Well, actually, before I jump to Eddie specifically, are any of the people on this list, anybody on this list follows?
Oh yeah.
Okay, Eddie, tell us who on this list and why it's kind of cool that they're jumping into the Stadia streaming arena.
I follow closely 4 people on the list: Vicstar, Courage JD, Tommy T999, and Nintendo. Tom T999 and Nintendo are smaller just because they have less than 1 million subscribers, but they have more than 100,000 easily. And but Courage is very, very well respected in the streaming community in general. Like he's buddy with Dr. Disrespect. I know, like Dr. Disrespect on YouTube, he has less than 4 million subscribers, I think. But other people on that list have a tremendously huge following, and they are respected, not only because of the size of their YouTube channel, but whatever they see, they have a huge following, and they will go. And as you were saying, Stadia, one thing that I believe it's the high point of this event that's going to last for a week with these streamers, is that they will be able to game with those streamers finally, because a lot of people, oh my God, I want to play with this guy so much. So they're going to do a Bomberman match that nobody's have to pay for anything. And then they will game with the streamer. So more important than promoting Stadia, people are interested in the game. You don't see nobody saying, "Yeah, I'm playing Fall Guys on PlayStation because it's free on PlayStation." No, you say, "I'm playing Fall Guys." So what I really hope is that Bomberman catches up and Outcaster catches up, and by consequence, the platform will catch up because it's exclusive on this platform.
Yeah. Meg, are you looking forward to our crazy stream week?
Yes.
It's like, my body is ready. I'm ready for this.
Wow. Yes. It should
speechless.
be.
That's how excited she is about all of it.
Yeah, it should be awesome. Sorry, yeah, I forgot what we were talking about.
You said it.
Oh no, did I say it? Did I say it really?
if I had like I need a soundboard. Eddie, I need you to play crazy sounds when no, it's fine.
Oh gosh. Yeah, so what I was going to say is I follow Courage JD on there, and I'm not surprised to see him on the list because YouTube actually bought him from Twitch about a year ago, I want to say. And it was a really big deal. He was one of the biggest streamers on Twitch, and it was right after Mixer. Do you guys remember that old thing? They bought Ninja, and then Courage went to YouTube, and it was like a big deal because they used to always game together, and they were like, they had their buddies. So yeah, he has a huge following, and I used to watch him a lot when I was all Fortnite crazy because he used to just do Fortnite all the time. But he's been branching out, so I hope we see him. I hope he likes Stadia and actually just like starts doing it. Even as not part of the promotion.
I mean, that's the key to this is, and Dom and Eddie have said it as well. It's not just that they're going to be streaming Stadia. It's that they're going to be streaming Stadia with crowd play and crowd choice. So for a solid week, whoever wants to go and play with these people are going to do that and see how awesome that is. And then suddenly maybe all kinds of other streamers are going to go, actually, that was kind of cool. And then they're going to go stream with crowd play. And who knows, maybe these streamers after that check clears are going to continue to do it because we know from Juggernaut and some of the other ones that they basically just let them keep having crowd play as long as they want. Yeah. So, come back to that. Well, color, anybody on this list that I couldn't come up with a color pun. So fill in for me. Anybody on this list that paints your fancy? I don't know.
I already follow It's Funny, Courage, and a couple others here, but Nintendo, I followed him because of his Stadia kind of like thoughts before Stadia even released. He said he made a lot of good points about like, that kind of like debunked all the myths around Stadia and said basically that he had a lot of faith in the platform. And so ever since then, I followed him. I follow ESO Danny because of a lot of his kind of online guides that he's made. And actually, and another one, a big one, is Tagback TV that I followed because he actually showcased Red Dead Online on Stadia before. And he has said nothing but like positive thoughts because he was the one who actually said that Red Dead Online on Stadia is possibly the best platform to play it on because of the peer-to-peer connections. Rockstar relies on peer-to-peer connections with all of their servers, and so it's like broken on pretty much every single platform, consoles and PC. But on Stadia, anytime the servers go down, usually Stadia is unaffected because of how well it works. And Tagback TV streamed Red Dead Online on Stadia when the servers were down. He said, because Stadia works right now, that's what I'm playing it on. And I'm hoping that he's going to be playing Red Dead Online for his thing. I don't know if he will, but hopefully he will.
Didn't he also in his video say something about, I think it's the same guy. I remember watching it was a few months ago he did the video, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he said something about like wild monsters. There were more wild monsters about and stuff because the connection was just more. I don't know. I can't remember why. But he basically said like if you wanted to go out hunting, it was just more wildlife around on Stadia.
Yeah, exactly. There are animal spawns. The issue is that there are lower animal spawns, and it's because of the connection issues that every other platform has. Stadia has never had that issue. Everyone in the community, in the Red Dead community, complains about animal spawns. Stadia never has had that issue. We don't have issues or normal issues for disconnects or anything like that. So
the Stadia, more cars in Grid, more bombs on Bomberman, and more animals in Red Dead Online.
Hey, Avery,
only on Stadia.
I have a quick question. Color, do you think that Rockstar is going to port over that Red Dead Online $4.99 ever? The standalone game? Because if they ported that to Stadia, I think you could probably get people to buy it on Stadia.
Give it for free. Do it on Pro and.
I think eventually it'll come. I don't know what's stopping it right now. Like I'd love to hear like your guys' thoughts on that. But when it comes to that, I think that it should definitely arrive on Stadia because I've been saying that everyone that has to buy that $5 game it's kind of like Warzone, Call of Duty Warzone. That's a free to play game, but everybody has to download the full Call of Duty Modern Warfare in order to even access Warzone. It's the same thing with Red Dead. They have to download a 123 gigabyte game in order to play Red Dead Online. And if they've added it to Stadia, no one even has to worry about that. You just pay the $5 and you're instantly in and playing Red Dead Online. So I seriously hope that they add that, and that'll do really, really well and improve the population on Red Dead Stadia.
Yeah, I would definitely. Every time I jump in Color stream, the first thing I ask them is like, "Hey, do you know if they're adding it yet? Do you know if you're adding it yet?" But yeah, I mean, the day they do it, I would jump in. Like, I was always a Grand Theft Auto fan, and when Red Dead came out, it was the game of the year that year it came out, which was awesome, part 1. And but I don't really want to. Okay, this not sound funny because I got a cowboy hat on, but I don't really want to like steal somebody's horse. I'd rather play Grand Theft Auto and steal somebody's car, right? But the fun you see, like even I was watching Meg on our stream Super Saturday, they was dragging people through the fire and stuff. I was like, this game is crazy. And yeah, I feel like I want to be a part of that when I watch Color and
Dr. With Stadia Saturday, it was so violent, like fire, Ray running people over, like
Dr. Spaceman, you was playing it with Stadia Pro Gaming the other day, right?
Yeah.
And like I was watching you hiding and you was grabbing the bodies and throwing them to okay, this is sounding crazy. But anyway, I would like to jump in.
This is not our Halloween episode.
I would like to get a piece of the co-op action, man. I'm a co-op guy. I love everything that has multiplayer, and I would buy it in a heartbeat. And
I actually got a friend of mine who was just waiting for GTA Online to make it to Stadia to start playing on Stadia. It's like he was looking at it, it's like it's interesting, but there was nothing really calling me on it. But GTA Online, if it makes it there because of all the updates that are recurrent, that are always happening, he's annoyed by it, and I think he stopped playing because of it. Instead, if GTA Online makes its way on Stadia, converting my gaming system to that.
Isn't GTA Online not like one of the big reasons it's probably not coming to Stadia because of the engine that it's built on is much harder to pull over than Red Dead?
The thing is, because they already announced that they're converting it to PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X for the big next gen, and in order to do that and optimize it properly, they actually have to do the upgrade to DirectX 12, at least for the Xbox Series X. And the moment it's on DirectX 12, the transition up to Vulkan is a lot easier. Because DirectX 11 to Vulkan is like extremely complicated. That's why so many of the game takes so long to port, because there's zero compatibility between them. So they have to rebuild the whole engine. But by bringing it to DirectX 12, which is almost as hard as bringing it to Vulkan, the moment the job is done, DirectX 12 and Vulkan has actually quite a lot of compatibility. They just need to use some tools, and most of the job is done. So by bringing in next gen, I do believe it will be much easier to bring it.
There's rumors already on that. There's a rock star, like a French rock star, Meg, that actually said that it's going to come to Stadia along with the PS5 ports and the next gen ports. Basically, it's going to come to Stadia.
That news site, they're actually official Rockstar news. Like they have access to the devs and all that. I went to their website, and one of the funny things, they never retracted on it. I went back and checked the article many times and see if they commented anything. They never retracted on it. Rockstar never made a comment. So I do think they're
pretty credible. Yeah.
It's at least inside of Rockstar, they've been looking at Stadia. If they said something like that, they got it running on Vulkan for sure. So it's just, how long will it take until it happens? That's the question.
Well, you've been tuned into Rockstar Source, your number one source for Rockstar news. But there's a lot more news to hit. I'm going to go through some of these headlines very, very quickly, and if anybody feels particularly impetus to scream out on any of those, please jump in and do so. Not only did we get all this stuff today in the Hangouts, but we also had, obviously, Immortals Phoenix Rising launch today. Fogs, weird, the thing with the, it was, I don't know, with the dog head thing. Fogs, Chronos Before the Ashes, Outward, tons of games coming out. Did anybody pick up any of these other than IFR?
El Hijo.
An El Hijo. I forgot about El Hijo. So nobody on my channel pronounces that right. I'm the only one next to my Mexican wife that can actually say the word El Hijo. Is that Hijo? So.
Oh my gosh, Avery, stop.
El Hijo. Did anybody pick up El Hijo or any of los otros today?
No.
All right, fantastic. We also got the pro games, of course, came out last week. No time to talk about those. Bomberman went officially free to play. So maybe there will be some slight opportunity for us to not have a ton of bots in there. For once, we'll find out on Sunday, I suppose, if that's what I end up playing. And then Elder Scrolls. You're talking about playing Elder Scrolls, Meg. It just went. They got the free to play days all weekend long, so you might see a few more Stadia folks in there as well. Anybody have any thoughts or anything you care to say about any of those headlines?
One question though.
One question from Anthony.
No, one question. But Elder Scrolls is still just for pros. It's not a free, it's not free for the weekend for everybody.
Total free weekend, free play days weekend. It's this month's free. Everybody plays game.
Really?
Free play days. Is that also for base or just pro?
On pro. Sorry.
That's what.
Whoever has pro. Because Elder Scrolls Online, when it dropped it on Stadia, it dropped it for claim for pro members,
but it
stayed just for 1 month.
Mm-hmm.
So if you didn't get it in time, then you can play at least the base game. I don't know if they've done Grey or anything else with it, but at least the base game, which there is hundreds and hundreds of hours in just the base game. So you're not missing anything on that. Anybody else? Any thoughts on any of the headlines of the week?
Awesome.
It is. You know what, Spaceman? You're exactly right. It is.
That's what I said on the stream about the event.
This is great stuff.
8 or 9 games in 3 days. Which is crazy.
Bigger and bigger and bigger.
Whoever subscribed now to Stadia as a pro trial, you have access
to great stuff.
You have access to 32 games. And I added 2 games to my catalog or to my backlog that I don't know when I'm going to be playing, which is Doom 2016, because it was too much of a steal to not buy it. And the same thing, NBA 2K21, which dropped a tremendously amount of price. It's 12 Canadian dollars instead of 80 Canadian dollars.
Mm-hmm. And didn't Stadia confirm? Didn't Jack Buser, I think, confirm that we'd reach 135 games, or just Stadia confirmed that by the end of the year?
Is there any way we're not getting the 120 games they said, because they've released so many in the past 4 weeks?
I'm pretty sure I saw they confirm 135 at the end of the year on Stadia. And to reach that number, they need to release a crazy amount of games. But they said it's happening. So
it's nuts.
We're being bombarded by games.
We still haven't got Ubisoft Plus either. There might be more games.
Again, yes.
Yeah, there's a bunch of Assassin's Creed coming. There's
Rainbow Six Siege.
Watch Dogs.
That's not
it's crazy. Thomas let me grab the vodka. No, wait, not the vodka. Let me grab the...
I kind of wanted to kick myself last night. Mr. Urban World, he was like, dude, buy Uno. Because I was streaming. I was like, all right, I'm going to buy it right now. And then it hit me when I bought it and I was setting up for Ubisoft Connect. I'm like, darn it, I said I wouldn't buy anything Ubisoft. I didn't realize this was Ubisoft. They got a lot of games, man. They got a lot of games.
It's very, very fun. Last thing to mention here, a ton of games got rated this week. Enter the Gungeon, which I played on Switch. I thought was really fun. Cthulhu Saves Christmas. I haven't heard about this one, but it sounds hilarious and interesting. And then the Mafia trilogy, Watch Dogs, which again is going to be in the Ubisoft set. Right? Yes, they're Ubisoft. Yes. Okay. And then Legend of Keepers, which is like a dungeon sim game, which I always think those kind of games are fun. So, I mean, right there you go. Another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games rated. And there's usually about a month, unless you're Destroy All Humans and SpongeBob, in which case you just never show. And we've got Cyberpunk next week. We've got Scott Pilgrim. We've got Valkyria Chronicles 4. We've got it's crazy, you guys, so many games. Well, speaking of games, you can check out all of the news and reviews for all of the games on Stadia at stadiasource.com, your number one source for Stadia news and reviews. Go check out those headlines. Plenty more we just did not have a chance to talk about tonight. But we are going to talk about something a little bit different. Was Incubus singing Anomaly or Animali? It doesn't matter because it's time for the hot topic. Like that, man? That was pretty good. Scarlett's not here to tell me how bad that was. So,
But I love Incubus, so it got a pass.
it's like the song of my sophomore year, right? So for the hot topic tonight, I thought we'd spend a little bit of time talking about. We're getting to a point now where Stadia is really beginning to ramp up its presence of second-party games, things like Orcs Must Die, Outcasters, Journey to the Savage Planet, which I guess sort of is a first-party game now, if you kind of think about it. And we're on the cusp of time when first-party games are going to be coming to Stadia. Games from Stadia Games and Entertainment finally coming to the platform. So I wanted to take just a few moments as our hot topic tonight and talk about the future that is approaching us and what Stadia kind of needs to do and needs to think about as we're getting into this moment where first-party games become a reality. So Eddie, I'm going to start this off with you. Obviously we don't want to hit too much on. Is this also the topic for Clever? I think I might have just double
I don't know what you're talking about.
Just did.
I don't know.
But
what
anyways,
you're
it's
talking about.
fine. There's amazing shows happening all week long with at least 2 people here on this channel. So Stadia in particular, what do you think they're going to need to do when the first true first-party games roll out to really? What did I miss? What did I do?
You just went really loud for a second.
Oh, guys, there's an auto. StreamYard
What Stadia needs to do.
So StreamYard has an automatic volume adjustment. I don't. So that's the key. I'm always too loud. So tell us, Edward Player One, what do you believe is necessary when Stadia begins to release their own games for them to be very popular and take on and catch and all that good rot?
Top of the morning for you, sir.
What are you looking for in a first-party game from Stadia Games and Entertainment?
It's crazy because we don't know, because we haven't never seen a game like this before. So I had a chance to speak with a guy from inside the game, and he told me exactly that. I gotta see it. We can imagine, and we have imagined. We have a very creative mind, but in order to see it coming to reality, it's going to be a very shocking and different experience. Like, we know when you're putting a VR headset, you know what you're expecting to see, and you know what you're expecting. All right, if I turn my head, I'm gonna see something here. If I turn my head there, I'm gonna see something there, because it's a technology that have been with us for a long time, even if it's not very good at the beginning. But we know the VR exists. Now the cloud gaming game, we don't know. Like it's two things. Like, we're talking about the future of NPCs and the limitless of the cloud. Initially, everybody was saying battle royale is fun because it's 100 players. But what if we do a battle royale with 1,000 players? Would that be fun as well, or would that be too much? So the game creators, they're still thinking, okay, what's the possibilities I want to do with cloud gaming? And I feel like right now the good minds are on the Stadia side, like Shannon Studstill and some of the people responsible for the Montreal studio, like I forgot his name, Sebastien Puel, which is the guy who created the first 3 Assassin's Creed. He's the head of the studio. So I feel like these people have already something crazy on their mind. They're trying to bring it to reality. And we, the players, will enjoy, I believe, when that 3, 4, 5, 6 years arrive.
Absolutely. Blue Bobs, what is when you're looking at this and you're hearing things from the Stadia team, what is getting you excited about their vision for first-party games?
Yeah, so about a week or two back, Jade Raymond did a podcast, and she kind of touched a little bit about native cloud gaming. And they had mentioned that, or maybe Jack Buser mentioned, it would be about 2 to 3 years before the first native cloud game actually hits the platform. So I'm anticipating maybe around 2022 to 2023. But yeah, just like Eddie said, like we have no idea. You know, imagine building a game for your top tier NVIDIA 3080 card. What's the max settings we can run this on? What's the max we can do this game? But then amplify that by like 20, 50, 100. Like I don't like just the fact that they're able to not be limited by anything, and they can be like, hey, let's go create a game where the world is Minecraft. It's the size of Minecraft world. And let's just expand it by 1,000 or, you know, something ridiculous like that. And the NPCs being able to be directly integrated into your Google like atmosphere and knowing what you've been searching on Google search and what you've been watching on YouTube. And they can like, just the stuff she was talking about is like stuff we never think about. Obviously, I'm not a game developer. I'm not going to think about that. But, you know, it's in their control. Like they can do it. Imagine being given a clean slate and just saying, hey, do what you want. And you're like, really? I can do X, Y, and Z? Yeah, you could do that 14 times over if you wanted to, you know? So I think we're not going to be quite prepared, but this is what I think is really going to turn people into Stadia gamers. Besides the awesome free-to-play games where it's like, hey, literally Stadia gives you the gaming hardware and the game, and you can just play with the Gmail account. Like that's all you need. But also once they create their first native cloud game with all of the unique features, and it can be size of the map, number of the players, NPC specialties, you know, crowd choice, screen share, all those cool features we're already aware of, and then some. Once they create that, then that's when gamers are going to turn and be like, oh yeah, my Xbox Series X, there's no way that could run that game. And all I have to do is have a Gmail account and maybe a pro subscription at that point. I don't know. Like, I doubt they're going to drop it for free for everyone, but maybe they will. Like that is what it's going to be. The real true seller of Stadia as a cloud gaming platform and what cloud gaming can do, in my opinion. So super excited.
Dom, what's your thoughts on kind of where this is heading?
Like Blue Bob said, like that, the Jade Redmond interview, if anyone hasn't listened to it, it's a podcast, please go check it out because it is incredible and it will hype you no matter, like I've just listened to it and I was walking the dogs and I was just like with a massive smile on my face because I was just like, this is the future of Stadia. Like her vision, she was basically talking about social interactions, right? Not just like she mentioned about, as Eddie said, these 1,000-player battle royales. But she's like, we don't want to just do that. We want to do something completely different, something not possible on any other platform because you're not restricted by the hardware that's under your desk or under your TV. So they'll be using things like elastic computing. They'll be using their advances in AI. They'll be using their ridiculous infrastructure at Google to just build these games and have massive data centers running these games with real-time physics for everyone. Like take GTA, for example, right? It's all peer-to-peer. You're driving around in a car with someone, you damage your car. That damage doesn't show the same as your friend who's sitting in the car with you because it just can't, the game isn't like, it can't cope with that information. Stadia does away with all that. Like it's just crazy, like to think the possibilities that they can do. And one of the quotes that Jade said is, "We don't want to become the Netflix of games. We want to become the YouTube of games. Mm-hmm. We want this social interaction with, even if it's just little things of streamers playing something and the crowd having an effect. And it's just like the possibilities are endless. Really, that's the exciting thing. I feel like games, even with the new next gen consoles, right? Nothing's really that different. Hey, they look quick, they look better, they load a lot faster. The PlayStation 5 controller is probably the biggest thing, right? That's like next gen feeling. But again, cloud gaming is just going to surpass that because it's not going to be held back by the box that's under the TV. I rambled then, but I'm just excited.
Anthony, one of the things I'll plug your Sandy and Anthony show because you always have a segment in the show where you kind of ask folks to dream a little bit and imagine, if you could live on any island or if you could have any 3 Christmas gifts. You always have one of those fun kind of questions. So I'll turn it around and ask you if you could have Stadia build the most amazing game of this genre, pick a genre and tell us what would be crazy that you think they could do with it.
So I think what's cool is you asked me that because it's going to tie into what I was going to say. So I'm going to be real specific. So in the last gen, I think one of the cool things that came out that all gamers could say that was pretty cool, if you're familiar with this, was the Lords of the Ring game, Shadow of Mordor, had the Nemesis system. And so when you killed an enemy, they died, or if you battled the enemy and scarred them, right, a ogre, and you met him again, he had the same scar and he remembered who you were, right? So I'm going to bring up that technology because that was a pretty big deal for me as a gamer. I was like, whoa. So if I stab him but didn't kill him and we meet back up, he's going to be like, it's you again. So imagine cloud gaming, taking that to the ultimate level. You got a sandbox type game like Grand Theft Auto, right? You're driving, you crash your car, like Blue Bods was saying, and then the person, or perfect example, let's bring up what we were talking about. You steal somebody's car, and the guy, like 2 days later in the game, remember you, right? So that's going on the Nemesis system, right? But expand it. Then let's think about when we said next gen, what's the most next gen thing? You mentioned controller. Me personally, the most next gen thing I've heard was when they mentioned Ratchet and Clank, you're going to be able to be on a different world and then appear in a different world, because for gaming, for you to be able to go from one place to the next, it either have to be like built like that, so it's not truly you going from one place to the next. Like let's say Destiny, when you're on a planet and you go to a different planet, it's all that loading, right? So imagine cloud gaming taking what Ratchet and Clank is going to do to the next level. So I'll paint a picture for you. So you got a GTA style game, but got special powers like Avengers or Anthem, you're flying. And it got like the Nemesis system. Like we're playing co-op with each other, but the NPCs are there. And when we do something to them, they will never forget it. They will always remember your character as long as they're alive, and if you don't kill them, right? So just imagine that. We're running around bank robbers or whatever, right? And these characters always remember. You know, a month later, you might run into this character. Oh, it's him, you know? And things could have progressed for that character as if it progressed for us playing the game. Because usually you meet an NPC and that's pretty much it. His story doesn't continue. Our story continues, right? And then you be able to, like, you know, jump in a portal and go somewhere far away, or teleport like the movie Jumper. Guys, I could get real crazy, but that would be like mind blowing for me. Something like that, using those two systems that we've seen from old gen and new gen.
Meg, you play a lot of different types of games. You play games from different studios and stuff. So we've seen a lot of, you know, we've got the first party stuff. We've also got these partnerships where Stadia is working to bring, you know, new and crazy stuff like the Orcs Must Die. They worked with, the name of that studio just evaporated. Somebody.
Robot Entertainment. Robot Entertainment.
Yes, Robot. They worked with Robot to say you can do the most crazy things with these orcs, and we're going to add Stream Connect. We're going to do this. They work with Splash Damage to add crowd play and crowd choice and all those kind of things. So, what's your dream? I'm going to give you this question, and I'm talking for a little while so you can build this answer, because I didn't actually tell you I was going to ask you this question in advance. If there's a studio whose games I love these games, they're great, they have a really good sense of style, or a good sense of humor, really good whatever. What's your dream second party partnership studio for Stadia Games and Entertainment?
I don't think it's possible anymore. But I would have picked Bethesda.
Sony Games Entertainment. I want
Sony. Yeah, I would have picked Bethesda. Because imagine if like a game like Skyrim was being built right now, and they could integrate it into a cloud gaming service like Stadia, which it is. Elder Scrolls 6 is being built right now for release in 2030. So get ready. But that would be my ultimate. And way back a year and a half ago when Stadia was released, they had this little collage showing all these developers, and Bethesda was on there, and I was like, yes. Like, to me, that means that probably Elder Scrolls 6, like if they're on board, Elder Scrolls Online was already announced for the platform. I was like, okay, I'm going to go in with this Stadia thing because I love Bethesda.
The contract
now things have changed, but
yeah, hopefully
they have said that any contracts already signed they're gonna honor, so it could already be signed for Stadia.
Good, yeah, that would be amazing. That would be so cool.
Yeah, Color. Obviously, Red Dead with the power of the cloud. If they were gonna take what would you do to Red Dead Online if you had? Are we basically creating Westworld at that point? Is that what we're doing? If we were gonna put the cloud into Red Dead, what Red Dead or not? What's on your radar when it comes to first and second party studios?
What I'm hoping for is that developers are going to see the power and the power of the cloud gaming platforms such as Stadia, and that is already really obvious with how stable Red Dead Online is running compared to everything else. And I hope they start porting more and more of their games. Not even porting, but like maybe hopefully like in like the far future, they're going to just kind of strictly stay with on cloud gaming platforms, just because if they don't have to spend as much time with all these bug fixes and worry about the peer-to-peer connections and the poor peer-to-peer connections that consoles and PC have, then hopefully they'll look more to Stadia's advantage and build games on those platforms just because of how stable they could be. And then hopefully I really want want to see as well
7,000 more animal spawns.
Yeah,
Flood the world with animals.
So they
did
legendaries.
They did really well with the whole. They did really well with the whole Fortnite thing and fitting 100 people into a map. But with the power of the cloud, what I really want to see is way more than that, even more, like 1,000 people lobbies. That would be really interesting, and that would be interesting to see in GTA 5 and GTA Online and Red Dead Online. Just more and more people in the same session, and just make it really chaotic.
Yeah, I mean, we know they can do that with, MMOs do it all the time, but it's because they're running on somebody else's server other than some of the graphical work and stuff that's happening for you, but somebody else is doing the math. And then if you let Google do the math, it's what the assistant slogan is, let Google do it. So let Google do the math and then make things go absolutely crazy. Spaceman, if you were going to have your outer space... sorry, Ed, we'll come back to you. If you were gonna fly into space and have your stellar it's not working. Nebula clouds. What would you do? What would you want to see out of the first party titles coming from Google Stadia?
I think we're already seeing glimpses of that with third parties that are coming out. Like, for example, speaking of space, Everspace just came out. It's the first one. There's already a second out. That like, it's weird that they brought the first one and not the second one, but what caught my curiosity is the fact that the developer just posted afterward that the 4K upgrade is coming soon, along with some Stadia improvement. I'm actually wondering if they're not just releasing Everspace period, and maybe they might be plugging in stuff from the second game in the first game and just make it continue working on Everspace. And they could take titles like games, and like we've seen the Hitman portal. You go into Hitman, you got all 2 games right now, and the third one coming very soon that will be all within the same game, and you get the multiplayer you're accessing from that. So you can make game environments that basically build all on the same engine, and you just keep improving that same engine, and it applies to every single chapter of these games. So you no longer have like those old games like, for example, Mass Effect. If you go to the first one, second one, third one, it's 3 totally different games on 3 totally different settings. Bring all that to the same engine and keep optimizing the same with all the story of all 3 Mass Effect. I think that's something very interesting that could be brought. And there is something else I wanted to bring up. The PlayStation 5, apparently the patent just dropped for a new PlayStation 5 Pro with 2 GPUs in it. I think that's a trickle-down effect from Stadia, because Stadia has the basically scalable hardware that if a game, let's say you want to run a game in 4K instead of 1080p, well, 1080p will use 1 instance. And they've talked about using a second instance if you're playing a game at 4K to get more resources available for the game so it looks better. And I think a lot of game developers are actually working with this to implementing them in their game. And we're talking about, like, we've seen it in PCs before, like you got GPUs are working in SLI, but that's all within the PC that you have to do all that magic. But for console games who have that capacity to work with multiple GPUs, now it's built in the console games. I think we haven't heard of Microsoft yet, but PlayStation, Sony probably spotted developers doing that for Stadia and said, we're going to get on the bandwagon and do a PlayStation that has scalable hardware like that. So Stadia already has a huge impact on the gaming industry right now. Some we don't know of. So we're seeing some things that are amazing thanks to the cloud.
It's like we said, there's a power of a data center, right? Compared to a small box on your TV. Like, there's no comparison. Like when
you have a warehouse under your TV if you're on Stadia, as opposed to, or if you're on a PS5,
with a hardware the size of smaller than a Google Home Nest, and it doesn't make any noise.
Because it's not.
Just looking at Ark Survival Evolved that's coming in a few months. They've announced for the beginning of 2021, and you'll have hundreds, plural, of players in the same servers. The limit on PC right now is 140, if I'm not mistaken, and will be allowed to be hundreds, plural, unspecified, on the same server. That's big. That's only possible thanks to the cloud.
Well, and Stadia could give that's one thing that I don't think a lot of people have touched on. Maybe it's a Cloudburst topic, Eddie. Stadia could give developers a chance to breathe new life into a game. If you've got a game that is locked, it's limited just because of the hardware, but then you can put it Stadia and unlimit it. Go ahead, Eddie. Yeah.
That is exactly what I thought when Spaceman was speaking about Everspace, because I haven't tried the game yet, but I know it is a single player experience. A few months ago, there was GDC 2020, which was crazy. Anyway, but there was a presentation from Aaron Hoffman-John when she was showing Guild as a multiplayer game, multiplayer co-op. And Guild has not been developed to be a multiplayer game. It has been developed to be a single player experience only. And using some AI that Google provided, they can turn the game at ease, not with a snap of a finger, of course, but easily can turn the game into a 2 players co-op. So imagine a game like Everspace, which is a single player space shooter. You turn it into a 20 players space shooter, and then everybody, this is cool. All right, so what's next step? 200. Scale to 200 players space shooter, and let's see chaos. So I feel like
you can even take a classic, like take a Resident Evil or something, where it was never made for 2 people, but you can double the number of zombies and you can double the number of whatever. So why not double the number of players, or triple or quadruple? Take a game that was only ever single player, and I mean,
and you know what? With Resident Evil, create an app that your viewers can log in with the YouTube account, and they have like 2-3 buttons that they will act as the zombies. So every zombie that you kill is actually a viewer from your channel.
That'd be pretty cool.
That would be awesome.
If you kill them, they unsubscribe. No.
That's a new form of crowd play right there. A different variant of crowd play. That's
something that Jade Redmond said in the podcast, where it doesn't have to be like everyone joining in and being like this massive creature. They can just have 2 buttons or something to interact with the game. But having thousands of these people doing it, it'd be crazy. Just one more thing I want to touch on. I don't know if anyone's heard of the game Planet Side, but it was it was a game on PC. I don't know if it was on consoles as well. It was basically a mass war across a huge map. But you had to select different servers because they eventually had a limit. But things like Stadia, there will be no limit. You can just have thousands upon thousands of players and be in this virtual war of just mayhem, and that stuff like that just excites me.
Yeah.
Well, virtual world of mayhem.
Right. So, ironically enough, think about like a Fall Guys. Obviously, one of the fun of Fall Guys is that you're one of these beans that are jumping in and enjoying this world. But then, I don't know, let your viewer become one of the big hammers or something. Just throw them in and let them become obstacles, and all they can do is hit A or B and start swinging the pendulums and or causing the things of that nature. The possibilities really can kind of stretch on endlessly in this regard. Anybody got any final thoughts on, in fact, we'll go around the table. Tell me a game that you would love to see the next iteration of that game, the next one in the franchise, come to Stadia, and tell me one cool thing you think that could be done if that were to happen. So I'll start. I'm gonna give y'all a second because everybody's kind of in deep thought, and we're gonna go this way and around so y'all know who's got the most time. So Eddie, tell me a game you would love to come to Stadia and do something crazy with the cloud.
Cyberpunk Online.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Discussion's closed. He's got it.
And scene. All right, thank you guys. Color, Red Dead 2, Red Dead 4 online, or Eddie? Did you have what do you think? Okay, Color.
No, I don't have it. I
online?
just dropped the bomb.
Outcasters 2.
Outcasters 2, the coster. Why did I say Outcasters? Outcasters 2, the costerist. Color.
We probably won't see the next iteration of Red Dead until God knows how long, 15 years from now. So I'm going to say maybe GTA 6, GTA 7 or something online, and with a bunch of people in the same lobby, like a kind of cloud gaming exclusive feature where they can just throw in everybody on the same map. With so many cars, so many everything. So I feel like it'll be much more stable on a cloud gaming platform. And yeah, GTA 6.
You got a friend there in Eli. Folks in the chat, tell us what your dream cloud enhanced game is, and we'll pull a couple of them up. Anthony,
I want a massive multiplayer Marvel Avengers. So remember on the end game, the scene of end game where at the end it was all the Avengers, hundreds against hundreds. I want that. I want every, when you play something like Elder Scrolls and all the computer characters walking around, I want everybody to be an actual person. And I want, when we have a war, we all got special powers. I want it to look as good as it look now. I want you to be able to have all these different abilities and moves. You got people flying, you got people running on the ground, you got people driving in cars, people flying in spaceships. I want everything to be actual people playing in the game, and everything would just go smooth.
Here you go. Dom, give us your dream game and how they could Stadiafy it.
I have two different types of games. One would be a massive just war type game of a shooter where you're just a soldier and just simple, but there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of you. And secondly, I'd like an MMO type game of especially those games where people have their own land in the game and they have their own house and stuff, and where there's just one instance and one server. There's no loading between going to different places, and it's just this massive open world, and there's private economies and stuff like that. Anything like that, scalable stuff.
There you go, Meg.
I already kind of said it would be Bethesda. It'll be Elder Scrolls 6. I want it to be multiplayer, and I want it in a persistent universe.
You can just be the dragon. Yeah. crowd play. Each one person takes each wing, and then it'd be crazy. Blue Bobs, what's in your mountain sky high game list there?
Yeah, so if I had to choose a second game, there's a game called Satisfactory I like to play, and you mine resources, you build equipment. I know. And the one big issue with the game that they've run into is just that it's very graphically intensive, and you run into a maximum amount of units you can have in your game before your game starts to crash. And I would just love to see that game come to the cloud, be more, opening up that storage space, and then going from a 4-player cap to you can have 30 people in the world. And it's normally a pretty big world. And you got trains moving, you got these jump pads, all these fun things. But just increasing that player cap, increasing the graphical content so you can get 4K without needing a 3080 card. I think that would be a really cool game to see come to Stadia.
12K one of these days. We're gonna get there. Folks in the chat. Dan, our fearless leader Dan was on family duty today, but he's saying a Google-based flight simulator. I mean, come on, you take Microsoft Flight Sim but make it Google. Like they have all the data. We
Did
know
you,
that
sorry,
they do.
quickly just in Flight Sim, did you see some people were replacing the Bing Map stuff with Google Map stuff because it's so much better?
No. I haven't. There you go. They're already figuring it out very clearly. Stadia Goat wants anything from Bungie. Isn't Bungie the Halo people? I don't think it's gonna happen.
Destiny.
Destiny. Oh,
Right.
got it. Okay. I don't know these games. What are we
And they
doing
are
here?
already working on a new project.
There you go. Drake Hykins saying football manager with amazing match graphics and press conferences. Sure. You get crowd play, but you're the press.
It already has press
The
conferences.
power of the cloud. Press.
He wants them to be
conference.
more amazing. The power,
More.
the press conference power of the cloud.
Press conference simulator.
Stadia Universe saying Resident Evil series for sure. Absolutely. Spaceman, take us home. What's your outer space dream for Stadia?
Quickly, I have two things. The first one is I want to cross over between like No Man's Sky and EVE Online. That would be pretty epic, and it would be only on the cloud we could do that. Like playable like No Man's Sky, but with an economy system like EVE Online. That would be great. And the other thing is talking about Outcasters. I want to see Outcarters and Outquesters and Outpartiers, like party games and all kind of games. Just keep expanding the
Outhousers.
franchise.
It's a building
Okay.
game. Wait. No. Nobody? Okay, never
Yeah.
mind. It's fine.
Yeah, a little RPG, a little card game, whatever. Just this game works so well with Stadia. It's a nice image. It could become Stadia's Mario. So just keep expanding it.
It very well could.
that's a good idea.
We want to know what you think should be. What is your Stadia dream game? Tweet your Stadia dream game and give the hashtag Stadia Dream, and we'll follow up on some of those and say hi and chat on those. I got a big announcement coming up, so everybody always leaves before the thank yous, but you're gonna want to stick around for this. I'm just teasing that right now.
Wait,
Guess
one more thing that I hope Stadia does is speed up the processing on clips, because it's been 6 hours since I took a snap to capture, and it's still processing, and I want to share it. Thank you.
You heard it here first, Stadia people. And then of course we got to say Dan says Sonic Mania 2. It's not gonna happen, Dan. It's not gonna happen. But it's okay. So guests, thank you for invading the podcast tonight from the frozen Northlands. We appreciate you all being on tonight. If people want to find you online, where can they go? Eddie, where can people find you online?
Eddie Player One's the name on YouTube, on Twitter, and I see you guys, Eddie Player Outcasters.
There you go. It'll be all week long. All the outcasting color.
YouTube.com/colorful and color with a U. And then it's
Spelled the wrong way.
Yeah,
Canada,
spelled the
yo.
right way, the Canadian way. And then on Twitter, it's at It's Color TV with a U
Very
again.
fun. Meg Atron X.
YouTube.com/Megatron X, and my Twitter is Meg_Atron_X.
There you go. And Dr. Spaceman.
YouTube.com/Dr. Spaceman, and I'm Dr. Spaceman Gaming on Twitter.
Very, very, very fun. And you can see their links to their Twitters right down in the description box below this episode. You know what? I want y'all to check out the Stream Team Dream Team playing all week long here on Source Feed Live, including Charm City's Community Playground and Scarlett's Ready Gamer 1, which is normally on Sundays, but of course tonight she's going to be doing some Ready Gamer 1 for Immortals Phoenix Rising. All Purpose Champs Power Hour Up Plus on Thursdays after the pod, except not tonight because he's giving hip space to Scarlett. F Tendo's Dad Time Gaming and Brews and Bruises on Mondays. And coming very soon, the Stadia Game Show with yours truly and real Google Play cash prizes coming to the Stadia Game Show. So make sure that you are tuning in for that. It's all those super chats which are making that possible. So we definitely appreciate that. Guys, I want to thank all of you who tuned in live tonight. Super, super exciting to have all of you. The chat was hopping tonight. The super chats and super stickers and new members flying, and we definitely appreciate you. In fact, we certainly appreciate all those folks that hit that join button down below, because you are our amazing supporters. I am stalling while I hit share screen, such as all these folks in the crystal tier, the platinum tier, the gold tier. Hey, Link TV, I know that guy. And LXV Stadia Talk, I know some of these folks. X2I, he looks familiar. Color, hey, look over there. The silver tier, the bronze tier, and of course the two people that have bought us a coffee now, and all of our past patrons. We appreciate all of you for being a part of the Stadia Source family. if you are, want to also say goodnight to our roundtable because I always forget to do that, or at least sometimes I do. Anthony, Dom, and Blue Bobs, have a great rest of your night.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Of course, Scarlett on earlier. We thank her for being on the panel. Next week, you guys, you're all hearing this for the very first time. We've got a special guest. We have we've a director of marketing for Stadia. At Stadia. We have a director of marketing from at Stadia coming on the show next week. So don't miss that show. All right. You're going to want to be here. If you're listening to the podcast, you can join us most Thursday evenings right here on YouTube. And if you're watching us on YouTube, you can download our podcast on Spotify, Pocket Casts, and wherever you get Pocket Casts. Well, do there too. They're podcasts. You can follow us on Twitter at Stadiasource, like us on Facebook, go get us a bunch of Timbits, and join our Discord at stadiasource.com/Discord. You can even wear Stadia Source merch when you are out and about by going to stadiasource.com/merch. The music at the top of the show is Somewhere in the Neighborhood by Bad Snacks. Check out her music at badsnacks.bandcamp.com. Hosting for StadiaSource.com, generously provided by Rock. You can find out more about the technical expertise of Rock at rokk.co.uk. And if you haven't already, below this video is the thumbs up button that lets us know you liked what you saw tonight. And right next to that is a subscribe button that lets you know every time we post a new video. You can also become a member of the Stadia Source channel by clicking that join button down below with great perks at every level of your budget. Thank you for joining the Stadia Source Roundtable podcast. We hope you have a good one.